Hello, even though we're all at home at the moment in these unprecedented times, I want to give you the opportunity to show you how you can shoot some great images while we're all indoors. Under the Create Your Light hashtag, we will be inviting you to take part in some photography challenges over the next few weeks. These photography challenges will hopefully help you get inspired, get creative, and help you shoot some great images while you're indoors. Using the Create Your Light hashtag, you can share your images with a wider Nikon community. Capturing great images at home is easier than you think. You just need to understand how to look at the window light around you and the camera settings you'll need to make the most of that light. Our first Create Your Light challenge is using window light. We're going to show you how to look at the different types of window light, be it front light, side light, backlight, and diffuse light to help you get great images while you're indoors. So, shooting with window light, I'm here in my kitchen. I have found a cheese grater, which I think most people would have in their kitchens. I've got my Nikon Z7 with me. I've got the camera set to 125th of a second. I've set it at f4 at the moment because that gives me a good depth of field. If I've got an f1.8 lens, I might get that out and change down to f1.8 at some point. But at the moment we're going to start with f4. I've got the camera set on auto ISO. Reason I'm using my Nikon, great in low light, but we can do this with any camera. I could even do this with my camera phone if I wanted. Looking at the light, looking at the way it's going to be hitting my cheese grater here, which is my subject of choice. I've got side light coming in from camera right here. It's hitting this face of the cheese grater. So that's what we're going to start with. We're going to start looking at side light and how I can work with that to create some interesting images, because depending on my exposures, I can actually use that to manipulate the window light to make it darker or brighter, and I can also use things like exposure compensation on the camera to do that as well. Okay, we're later in the day here, so the light is changing. We've got longer shadows. I'm actually going to use this for backlighting. So we're going to take our window frame here, and actually in particular we're going to look at the window handle here. Really like the way the light is coming from behind here to strike it. We've got the dust left from the recent rain on the window pane here, which gives us a beautiful back texture. And what I'm going to use here is the way the light that's coming in here. I'm going to have a backlit subject, so it's going to be almost a silhouette. My camera settings don't actually need to change here at all. We're also going to maximize the dynamic range in the camera, so I've got a wide range between the highlights and the shadows. So 125th of a second, f4. And I'm really liking that. I'm actually now going to use exposure compensation just to dial this down a bit. So exposure compensation is the plus and minus button here. If I'm in manual mode, that works as long as I'm in auto ISO. I'm going to take 2/3 of a stop out, so deliberately underexposing this to get more of sort of a heavy shadow on this side. And I'm really liking that now. So working with window light is really moving around your house or your flat and looking at how the light's moving, how the light's bouncing. Reflected surfaces can work really, really well. I'm sitting here on my staircase. It's flat light. It's very diffused, no hard shadows, really nice light. Window is from camera left coming in here. This is really nice portraiture light. However, if I move forward very, very slightly, I will now get reflected light coming off of the silver surface in my kitchen, and you can see now how intense that light suddenly gets and the shadow that it makes across my face. Just moving back, it's not very far at all, but it actually makes a huge difference in the light that you're working with. What we got here is front light. If I go and stand on the other side of the table and shoot coming in this way, I'll be shooting with backlight, but I'm going to use front light. The trick with front light is to make sure you don't stand in your own light. So one of the things you could do is stand here and shoot that way. Suddenly the light's gone. We've blocked it. We've shadowed our own shot. If I stand off to the side here, I've got some really nice light coming in from the front, hitting the ball here. So I can work with the shadow here with this very, very hard light coming across, creating these amazing shadows. I've got camera set to f4. I've now moved up to 1/400th of a second. Not that I need that faster shutter speed, but because the light is a lot brighter than it was earlier. So I focus there, single point focus, and now I just shoot. And we've got a cracking image here. Here we're still using the same light as we had before. It's really coming from this main window up here, striking the ball on the front. And what we've got is we've got some interesting shadows, and there's some really interesting patches of light being created. I'm just going to shoot that. We've got a great image here. So hopefully that has given you some ideas and some tips and some techniques for shooting with window light when you're indoors in these current challenging times. It shows that you don't need complicated kit and you don't need a professional lighting or tons of other kit. Just look at the light, look at where it is, look at where it's falling on the subject, and you don't need other people around either. We can use all sorts of objects that we have lying around our flat or our house. You can use all types of light depending on what time of day you want to shoot. Midday, you're going to get very hard shadows if the sun's out. If it's a cloudy day, you're going to get diffuse light throughout all of the day. Morning and in the evenings, if you get up really early or you're out later, as the clocks are going back this weekend, so we'll get longer evenings, you can start shooting at golden hour, where you'll start getting a lot more warmer light coming into your images. However, you can by changing your white balance. I've been shooting with auto white balance all day. By changing your white balance, you can actually warm up and cool down your images if you want anyway. Feel free to ask questions in the comment sections below. If you've got anything to do with camera settings or how to look at the light, please feel free to ask. Remember to share your images from the Window Light Challenge with hashtag #CreateYourLight. I hope you found this useful. Thanks for watching.